Hi everybody, today we're going to discuss the pin and stretch technique, which is a technique of getting rid of scar tissue and tightness and contracted muscles and fibers that are in our forearm. So as a climber, if you're having issues in your fingers or into your wrist or into your elbow, you need to keep in mind that the muscles of our forearm can very well be affected as they connect to the fascia that's over them. So imagining the skin, and underneath the skin is this dense connective tissue, and underneath that dense connective tissue is a layer of what we call fascia. There are two layers of fascia, superficial and deep, and underneath these is a dense network of muscle fibers that are connected to each other through this fascia. Working into the forearm, our goal is to make sure this fascia is loose and flexible and stretchy. It is not adhering one structure to the other. So the pin stretch technique is our goal to teach you guys that for this week. So grabbing a tool, any tool, some different tool ideas is you can use a flex bar to work on yourself. We can go in and use any dog balls or tennis balls or lacrosse balls, or getting in there with specific foam roller type tools. So the pin and stretch technique, the goal with either your medial epicondylitis issues or your lateral epicondylitis or tendonitis issues is to loosen up and soften the structures so that they're not all adhered. With chronic inflammation from climbing and using our flexors, the muscle can become adhered to the tissue underneath it. So just go ahead and grab on your skin, and I want you just to feel around for areas where the skin is nicely moving. See how I can pull mine up? And then areas where that skin might not be able to pull up so well. So I've found a spot right here where I have a lot of inflammation and chronic friction, and that is from writing my book, having it on the edge of the table as I type on my computer. A big no-no. Make sure your edges are smooth, rounded. Put pipe foam over them if you need to, or sand them down, or select a desk that does not have a sharp edge. Little side note. So getting into those areas, taking your tool, I'm just going to use the basic flex bar, getting into the spot where it feels like it's adhered, and then you can get in there and just start to bend and extend our wrist. So what we're doing is we are clamping down the tissue and hopefully the fascia as well. We're clamping down the skin, and then we are pressing with all of our weight. We are gliding the muscle underneath these tissues and hopefully breaking up any adhesions or scar tissue. So if you're feeling a hot burn by doing this, it is very well that you're affecting the fascia or the scar tissue between those. You can definitely get in there and hit up different spots. So it's not rocket science. You have all kinds of different muscles, all your flexors attach on the medial epicondyle of the elbow. Our goal is to get in and all of these different muscles, move the muscle side to side, move the hand up and down. You can do circles, getting it on the back as well as the front of the forearm. The goal is to pick all these different spots, make sure that skin is not adhered, and make sure that we have a nice, soft, supple forearm and not one that is all adhered and tight and twangy from climbing. So I'm a manual therapist. I use my hands all day long. I build up a lot more scar tissue and adhesions than the average person. So if you have a day job or a desk job or something where you are constantly causing friction or irritation to this issue, you're going to need a lot more work than someone who does not use their arms or their fingers in their daily job. So go in, evaluate both sides. Let's spend a good 10 minutes on both forearms, 10 minutes total, working on the back and working on the underside. And our goal is to just unadhere these guys. So over time, they've become adhered, so it's going to take us time to unadhere them. And it's not like we can just take a little squirt bottle and put out a campfire. We need to slowly pressure over time, little bits of work adding up. And if you're becoming sore from this, or if you're starting to notice your symptoms are getting worse, it might not be a bad idea to take a day or two off. Perhaps don't do it the same time that we are going out for an extended climbing trip. Really try to view this as a problem-focused gym session where we're getting in, we're ripping up muscle or the scar tissue attached to muscle fibers, and it's going to take some time for these things to heal. So a little bit of work, focusing on different knots every time we work on them, and when you're no longer feeling sore spots and you're no longer feeling tight, twangy muscles under there, you know that you've reached your goal. And until then, let's delve in, let's spend a bunch of time making things loose and flexible, and that's really going to help increase your power, decrease the friction and the inflammation, and thus your injuries. Hope all's well, and I hope you enjoy this. Bye.